Time now for business news. Madison Reddy's in the studio. You covered off Z Energy's half-year results earlier in the program, but another bank today opened their books. Which one is it and how are they doing?
This was BNZ, which is still one of the big four, not quite as big as ANZ, which we mentioned yesterday is the biggest, but they certainly still had a big net profit. So their profit was over $1 billion. We mentioned yesterday that that's not unprecedented, particularly when it comes to banks. So this is the second time that BNZ's profit has tipped over the $1 billion mark. It didn't last year or the year before, but in 2015 it did. So in the past year, they've seen a 10% increase. Last year, they reported a net profit of about $937 million, nearing that $1 billion mark, but this year they actually did it and tipped over. Now, that was due to growth pretty much across the board. There were almost no negatives in the breakdown of their figures. So when it comes to borrowing and lending, so lending for home loans, that increased the most. That was up 7%. So they gave out home loans in the year to 14,000 New Zealanders, which is a lot, especially when you kind of see house prices at the moment and a lot of people complaining that first home buyers can't afford to even
Someone's
get
getting into the market.
Yeah, exactly, to even get that mortgage. So that is still on the rise, and they do expect that to continue. They expect to hold on to that gain this year as well. Business lending, which is particularly important for BNZ. So being the Bank of New Zealand, they particularly market to businesses and smaller businesses as well. They think that's where they have a competitive edge. If you've ever heard a BNZ ad, it's typically to do with businesses. So lending there was up, not as much, but still up by 3%. So still a couple of billion there. Customer deposits were up too. So that's the amount of money that a customer of BNZ actually puts into their bank account. Now that went up too, which could suggest that people are earning more people are being employed, something like that. They also expect that to increase with some kind of economic results out at the moment. Their net interest margins were up too. I mean, everything across the board was up. So
there was nothing for them to complain about.
No, absolutely not. And particularly when we talk about fatter margins, to break that down, that's the amount that they take from interest payments from the likes of loans. So more loans, you would also expect interest margins to go up.
What about the markets?
The markets, we were up again today, so we rose 1%, so that's up nearly 92 points. You remember last night we were up over 100 points as well. We're doing pretty well this week to close at 8,844 points. The New Zealand dollar rose to 65.8 cents. New Zealand dollar, oh yes, it did rise. Sorry, I'm reading this a little bit wrong. We're buying it at 65.8 US cents, 92.2 to the Australian and 51.2 British pence. Z Energy's share price there as well slid again today, 9% in the day, so they're down 57 cents.
Poor results. Right. All right. Thanks, Madison. Appreciate you coming in.